This is the JTV Caribbean News segment. I am Sean Rose. Prime Minister of Grenada, Dr. Keith Mitchell, has reminded Caribbean media practitioners that their work is not a popularity contest. Addressing the 46th Annual General Assembly of the Caribbean Broadcast Union, the CBU, held in Grenada on August 17th, Dr. Mitchell says the role of Caribbean media practitioners in the development of the region is similar to that of politicians.
Your job is not merely to be in a popularity contest. In fact, I don't believe media people could be very popular. You should not be, not with a politician, not with anybody. Your role is to seek the truth so as to edify the minds of the very people you are called to serve, not simply to sensationalize stories for public consumption and hopefully maybe for financial gains. This is not, clearly not, in the public's interest or the nation's interest. You are therefore, as far as I'm concerned, the soul and conscience of the nation, not the politician. You are. Mark Twain once said, and I quote, "Be careless in your dress if you must, but keep a tidy soul."
And two Caribbean broadcasting icons were inducted into the Caribbean Broadcasting Union CBU Hall of Fame on Monday, August 17th. Tributes were paid to Montserratian Rose Willock and the late Guyanese broadcaster Terry Holder at a function held at Grenada's National Stadium. Willock, who once headed the then Montserrat-based Radio Antilles, was recognized for her service to the region, especially in building capacity for emergency broadcasting. Holder, who died in 2014, was instrumental to the birth of the region's first ever television news exchange, Caribvision, as well as the regional television magazine Caribscope. His children, Dawn and Dwayne, attended the induction ceremony on his behalf. Former Governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands, John DeYoung Jr., was arrested on Tuesday morning, August 18th, after years of investigation by local and federal law enforcement officials into alleged embezzlement charges. Attorney General of the USVI, Claude Walker, confirmed John DeYoung's arrest, along with Julito Frances, former director of the Virgin Islands Public Finance Authority. Early Tuesday, both men were arrested on two counts: embezzlement of public monies and neglecting to pay over public monies in violation of the Virgin Islands Criminal Code. Both charges are punishable with fines of up to $10,000 and up to 10 years in prison or both. Conviction also disqualifies any one of them from holding public office ever again. It is alleged that on or about April 2007 through January 2009, both men acted in concert in the process of conversion of public monies for private use and executed several government contracts to convert $490,025 of VI government highway funds to fund improvements to the private residence of former Governor John DeYoung without authority of law. The funds were specifically earmarked by the Virgin Islands legislature to repair public roads. Both men will be arraigned in approximately 2 weeks. A homing pigeon was intercepted by police at a prison near San Jose, Costa Rica, after it was seen by a guard landing in the jail's courtyard with a black zipper bag containing 14 grams of cocaine and 14 grams of marijuana. Authorities suspect the bird was looked after and fed by an inmate in the medium security wing of La Reforma Prison, Costa Rica's biggest penitentiary, before someone smuggled it out of the prison, only to load it with illicit cargo ahead of its return route. Director of Costa Rica's prison police force, Pablo Bertozzi, told the media the pigeon was able to fly perfectly well, despite the drug-stuffed pouch strapped against its breast. Bertozzi said he had seen cases of cats being used to transport drugs strapped to their tails. The bird, which has affectionately been nicknamed Narco Pigeon or Narco Paloma by Costa Ricans, has been handed over by the authorities to a zoo, where it is being kept under observation before being housed in a larger enclosure. In 2011, prison guards in Bucaramanga, Colombia, found a pigeon attempting without success to fly over the wall into the jail laden with 45 grams of marijuana. 2 years ago, police in Buenos Aires smashed a marijuana trafficking ring, which used pigeons as a risk-free manner to transport the drug to their home base. And finally, in this week's regional news segment, Against the backdrop of cheering supporters, more than 60 same-sex couples gathered in Puerto Rico's capital on Sunday, August 16th, to exchange vows at a mass marriage ceremony. Most of the participants were Puerto Ricans, but other Spanish-speaking couples from Cuba, Venezuela, and the Dominican Republic also tied the knot at the landmark event. The same-sex couples were joined in matrimony with the traditional marriage vows and exchange of rings at a promenade in San Juan's colonial district. Sunday's weddings were made possible by the U.S. Supreme Court decision in late June requiring every state to recognize same-sex marriages. But while thousands supported the ruling, religious leaders in the socially conservative island rejected it. Monday, the Roman Catholic Bishop of Arecibo, Monsignor Daniel Fernandez Torres, reiterated his opposition to the move. Citing the church's catechism, which defines marriage as a sacrament, he said that a marital union can be shared only by a man and woman, and that same-sex marriages are contrary to natural law. Today is a sad day for Puerto Rican society, Fernandez said in a statement. All U.S. Supreme Court rulings apply in Puerto Rico. The U.S. Island Territory's Governor, Alejandro Garcia Padilla, signed an executive order requiring government agencies to become compliant with the ruling within 15 days. As a result, the island's health department and other agencies had started issuing marriage licenses by early July. Until recently, Puerto Rico had prohibited same-sex marriage. That's it for this week's JTV News regional segment. I am Sean Rose. And coming up next on JTV News, Jalil Foundation donates school supplies and Nagico invests more in sports. In this week's Hot Trends segment, Sophie B steps into crazy steps in Fish Bay for the latest styles in women's shoes.